Well, Tuesday marks 3 weeks until the all-important midterm elections, and President Biden is reportedly set to tap back into the nation's strategic petroleum reserve in an effort to combat gas prices that are on the rise once again. Coincidence? Let's begin tonight's lightning round by asking that question of KTTH Seattle Talk Radio host Jason Ranskration. Jason, always great to see you. I got good news to start this whole segment off. I finally got to the bottom of what's causing these price hikes in gases. Here's Karine Jean-Pierre. Watch.
But President Biden has said for months how he is committed to doing everything that he can in his power to address Putin's price hike.
So it's Putin's price hike, except the governor of California says, no, it's the oil companies. This is just rank price gouging. They can get away with it. They're fleecing. They're taking advantage of you, every single one of you, every single day. And if it wasn't so ridiculous, if gas outside the door, Jason, wasn't $7 a gallon, it would be laughable. Your thoughts?
I mean, this is kind of silly. So we're back to Putin's price hike, but last week it was the Saudis. Now it's also the greedy oil companies. It definitely has nothing to do with the 54 cents gas tax in California or the high gas taxes everywhere else. It's everyone's fault except Joe Biden's, because this administration definitely has a great energy policy that encourages domestic oil drilling. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a fan, by the way, of Reason.com. I think there's things that are actually reasonable. They come out with a lot of stuff. Well, they came out with this article that said the defund the police movement, don't blame crime on the defund the police movement. And I'm thinking, really? And they even talked about Seattle, which we know is very low on police officers. What do you make of it?
This editorial is aggressively dishonest. The only way that you can claim police departments weren't defunded, which is what she's claiming in this piece, is when you only talk about abolishing. Like, there was a movement to abolish the police department, but no one was saying defund it 100%. The whole defund movement was about taking money away from police departments and reinvesting it in community services, in healthcare, in going after the underlying causes of violence that we're seeing. But to be clear, Seattle, Portland, Minneapolis, New York, Austin, Baltimore, LA, and many, many more defunded. And on top of that, in this article, there claims to have been no crime surge. There's no crime increase whatsoever. And yet, Philadelphia has a record for homicides, 50% higher homicides in LA this year, last year. New York has, 30% increase in robberies and grand larcenies and burglaries. Seattle is about to hit another record high homicide rate. Right. The data betrays everything that's in this piece.
I found this interesting. The New York Times former editor, James Bennett, says, I mean, he's the one that published remember the Tom Cotton op-ed?
I'm still triggered by it.
He says that he was treated like an incompetent fascist. And that's a quote.
Yeah. This should embarrass the people who work at the New York Times, but I think they live in this echo chamber where ideological bigotry is actually celebrated because they view each other as heroes. They view one another as heroes. They think they are saving democracy by pushing back against ideas that they don't like, but ironically, they're helping to destroy it. We are not a free nation if you're only allowed to take certain positions. And what Tom Cotton took at the time was a reasonable and logical position. You can disagree with him. We can have those conversations and arguments. But it wasn't just crazy out there. This is a sitting senator who was trying to address the nationwide riots that the New York Times pretended didn't exist.
That's exactly right. I've read it many times, and it is exactly very reasonable, unlike Reason Magazine was in that one. Speaking of the defund the movement, Seattle City Councilwoman who led the effort is now kind of bummed out. She needs a little bit extra protection because there's feces being thrown at her house, Jason.
Yeah. 4 instances of feces being thrown. We don't know if it's animal or human. I'm told it's human. I don't know how they can tell. But the funny thing is this is a council member who has defunded the police. She has demonized the cops. She has said that they are murderers and racists, and now she's asking for special protection. She wants cops outside of her home from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. until we catch this guy who's doing it. By the way, not only is this a nonviolent crime, we have actual violent crimes happening right now, and we have a depleted Seattle Police Department, again, thanks to this council member, Shama Sawan. So it's a little ironic she's asking for this.
Yeah, especially in investigators, man. The detectives are way down in Seattle. Jason Rance, great to see you, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Trace.